Hi guys, this is Michael from Nomadic Insights. Today we're going to be talking about SmartLink, which is a new ICO coming up this week that offers an escrow service on the Tezos blockchain. Looks really cool based on what I have seen so far. Probably by the tone of my voice, you can tell that I'm like, I really wish I could buy this, but unfortunately the ICO does not appear to be available to Americans. So if you are an American, just turn this video off, sit it out. I am sorry, but we cannot participate. So this is going to mainly be geared at a global audience, you lucky, lucky folks, because this blockchain technology looks really cool. So first, let's explore what is escrow in the first place. So escrow is when money is placed into a trust account. So think of when you buy a house. Before you get the money from the bank doesn't just give you the money. It actually goes into an escrow account or a custodial account. So if you're a freelancer, you may have had a client place money into deposit or into escrow to show that you can be paid when the work is completed. So providers like Upwork or other freelancing websites really do provide an escrow service, or they really provide that, I'm going to hold the money, and as you guys agree, as the trusted third party, I'll give it to you. This is generally the realm of lawyers. Most people don't think, oh, I need to use an escrow service. So the interesting thing here, though, again, is demediation, or getting rid of the middleman, is really cool. And SmartLink, by acting as essentially a smart contract escrow hub, is actually solving a pretty important problem using blockchain technology and smart contracts. It is really cool. So I think that the underlying idea is really good. One of the things, though, is when you're looking at emerging markets, this seems predominantly geared more towards the Francophone world, more so than the English-speaking world. So if you go on and you look, most of the team and the senior leadership is based in Canada or in France or even in Switzerland. So you can imagine in those countries, French is spoken quite commonly. So while it is, English is the business language, there are a lot of consumers in emerging markets who continue to speak French, and French is a very important global language, much as Americans seem to forget that sometimes. Je suis désolé. But with that in mind, let's continue a little bit more into the actual system itself. So going through the platform, I have gone through the white paper. So effectively what's going to happen is the data model looks solid, gas fees look solid, it has a very strong technical team. We've actually built fintech apps before, so this is nobody's first time doing a startup, which is really, really good. So their main thing is, so there's going to be an escrow service tool here, multi-currency payment processing, milestone payments, marketplace, governance, and then they're going to create an API for e-commerce platforms. So that is really cool. And having done a lot of work in international trade, this is an issue. If you have a business, you need to trust the person in another country in order to do business with them. So trust is a big issue. And what SmartLink is doing by creating a trust as a service platform through a series of smart contracts on Tezos is cool. It's really cool. Now, even though it's cool, you do need to look at the overall blockchain ecosystem. So one of the things I do like about Tezos compared to Ethereum is that gas fees are substantially lower right now. The race to the moon in blockchain is really being able to process 1,500 transactions a second or more, which is currently the transaction volume that Visa does. Right now, I believe that Bitcoin is capable of processing like 10 transactions a second, which is terrible. Correction, it's not just terrible, it's dog shit. When we're looking at this. So Tezos has recently completed a series of technical updates that have really sped up the performance of its blockchain, but this digital arms race of raising the number of transactions on chain is extremely critical. And with ETH 2.0 coming out, I'm not necessarily convinced that compared to a platform like Tezos, Cardano, Ethereum really presents much of technical improvement. The transaction fees are just prohibitively high, and it continues to be an issue. Hopefully that's going to improve. But again, when you're looking at the actual cost of doing business, it's often for small transactions more than 3.3%, which is much more expensive than Visa or MasterCard, which really obviates the benefit of the service in a lot of ways. In some cases, transaction fees are much lower for conversion, but not in my general experience so far as a user. So that's the secret sauce, is transactions per second, and actually being able to turn that into mass adoption. I think Tezos and Cardano have a better chance of being able to do that currently than Ethereum, because Ethereum needs to get 51% of all the users and all people with computing power to agree, and it's just easier to build the system and start it correctly the first time than it is to do open heart surgery. I'm not really sold on ETH's open heart surgery approach that Ethereum's trying to do right now. I'm not sold on it. So with that in mind, Ben Constanti, who is the co-founder of SmartLink, has a lot of experience in marketing, has worked for the past about 3.5 years as head of blockchain research. So he does have a lot of experience. These guys have been in the space for the past 3 to 4 years, which is a lifetime of experience for blockchain-based technologies. So Ben knows what he's doing. Jeremy Martin, who's one of their lead architects, knows what he's doing. These guys seem like they know what they're doing. Yeah, so Jeremy Martin, solid, has an interview with Havas Blockchain I'll link to. Again, just looks like a solid crew. It's one of those things where, because I cannot directly buy this token as an American, I'm just like, oh, this is really cool. This is really cool. Gotta get my Panama Corporation joke aside there, but the actual blockchain itself looks really cool, and the technology itself looks awesome. The architectural diagrams are up to par, database schema is up to par, marketing materials great. All the ducks are in a row here, it looks like, for a very solid offering. Now, Tezos, they could use a little bit more love, but again, I think that the underlying technology is there. And I think that if you're familiar with the work of James Clear, Atomic Habits, that 1% iterative improvement, it really looks possible on Tezos. Ethereum, I'm an Ethereum bear. So that's my joke, guys. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked a little brief due dil on SmartLink. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got some value. Again, I don't have a massive input here because I can't buy any, legally speaking, because I'm an American. Mazel tov. Sorry, I was watching Fiddler on the Roof this morning. Got stuck in my head. If I were a rich man, not a rich man. But hey, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.